For my contemporary issues in sport verbal presentation, I've chosen to do the New Orleans Saints, what has been known as the Bountygate conspiracy theory within the NFL between the seasons of 2009, when the Saints won the NFL Super Bowl, up until 2011 with sanctions handed down in 2012. So the Bountygate implies that New Orleans Saints defensive players were instructed by their defensive coach to pool their money as well as his own into like a slush fund, where players would receive bonuses for either big hits or a hit on an opposition player that would eliminate them from the game. Players were was incentivized with $1,000 was paid to a big hit, with $1,500 paid to a hit that resulted in a player being stretchered off. It was rumoured that the bounty grew to roughly $50,000 throughout the few years, the slush fund for it. So bounty funds or in-game bonuses are not allowed in the NFL. The NFL sends out a reminder or a notice at the beginning of each season before camp or training camps begin to remind them that side bonuses are not allowed within the game. It's the way that ties in with salary cap, and the NFL basically needs to know where all players are in terms of their wages, where their money comes from, and there's no room for side bets or side payments through it. In particularly a bounty or a hit bounty like the New Orleans Saints employed in these years. So the contemporary issue side that is relevant with the NFL Bountygate is more of a moral issue, where players were taking monetary kickbacks to deliberately try and injure a player. It goes against the ethics of sport. It goes against the rules of the NFL also. Some particular examples where the Saints were playing the Minnesota Vikings. Brett Favre, the quarterback for the Vikings, was seen to be deliberately targeted multiple times, as time after time players were hitting him late. The Saints defensive coordinator, Gregg Williams, who was the instigator of the program, it was also rumoured, and the NFL chose not to investigate it, but it was said that he also employed similar slush fund ideas at some of the other teams that he was either the head coach for or defensive coordinator for in the past. The NFL commissioner, Roger Goodell, came down with some of the harshest penalties that the NFL had in its 92-year history, with coaching staff, players, and the defensive coordinator, Gregg Williams, suspended for some players for weeks. The defensive coordinator, Gregg Williams, was suspended indefinitely.